And yes, and if you guys can, you know, it's yeah, the camera's off. I understand some of you may be a little uncomfortable, but I encourage you to turn on your camera if you want to, because while we do this online, it's important that the teacher sees the alignment because it's for your safety there. So sometimes kasi people tend to, okay, I'm gonna do this, but you can see that they're struggling or the alignment is a little off. So we can call out adjustments also. So if you guys are comfortable turning on your cams, that's gonna be really helpful, okay? There's a different practice called chair yoga. If you can get on the floor, it's safer kasi baka mahulog kayo dun sa chair. Yeah. Mm-mm. And then maybe Lawrence, next time we can do chair yoga. So you can all do it while seated. Yes. Mm-mm. I teach chair yoga also. Yeah. Okay. There. But right now, yes, if you can get in the middle of your mats, or if you don't have a mat, maybe a towel on the floor, that's going to be really helpful. Typically, you practice facing the front of your mat, okay? Front of your mat is this way, okay? So you are facing the short edge, okay? But because I need to see you guys, I am practicing this way, okay? I am on my easy cross, so seated on an easy cross. Others call it Indian sit, right? But there are so many ways for you to sit. Let's experiment first, okay? Others would like to sit this way. The others would want to sit fire log, one shin on top of the other. There. If you want to go for a more intense hip opener this early on, you can have the soles of your feet together and just hold them from the outside. Butterfly sit. Okay, there. So I'm gonna go for an easy cross. It's one that's most accessible. Left shin in front of the other. If it's more comfortable for you to have the right shin in front, that's totally fine. It's not important that you have your knees on the ground. Soon, when your hips are warm and when your hips are more open, you will have it comfortably touching the mat, okay? There you go. So just simply relax your legs. Appreciate the connection to the earth. Appreciate your connection to the mat. Your mat or your towel or whatever it is that you're sitting on will be there to support your practice. So appreciate your connection to it. Simply have your hands on top of your knees, palms facing down to ground. You may see other yogis with their palms facing up. There. They are trying to invite more energy. So if you're sleepy, if you feel like you need to attract more positive energy today, just have your palms facing up. Others would go for a mudra. We call it a mudra when they touch their index finger and their thumb there. So this is an all-knowing mudra for self-awareness. You can lean back a bit just so your shoulders are in line with the hips, okay? This is where your spine is at its longest. And try to relax your shoulders. Soften the shoulders and then bring the chest forward a bit. Chin parallel to the floor and gently relax your jaw. We hold so much tension in our jaw. So unclench and relax the muscles around the eyes. Let's take a few moments here to establish the breath. With every inhale, allow yourself to sit taller. So imagine I'm pulling the crown of your head up, away from the heels, away from the hips. And then as you exhale, bring the belly in, belly towards the spine. But also try to bring the rib cage in. That way you activate the front side of the body. The pose may be very simple. It may look very simple. You're just seated. But with that stomach in, you're activating your core. You know that feeling when you're anticipating someone hitting you in the gut and then you press the stomach in? You do that with every inhale. And breathe. Breathe in and out through the nose. Try not to breathe in through the mouth because it dries up your throat. If you breathe in through the nose, in and out through the nose, it improves your endurance a lot. One breath through the nose and allow that inhale to scan your body for what doesn't belong there. Look for something that you don't need in your practice today. And exhale. Maybe you can slightly open your mouth as you exhale, but never on your inhales. Inhale again. And then slightly open the mouth and exhale. 3 more cycles of this cleansing breath. You can close your eyes just to appreciate the breath. And at the bottom of your next exhale, welcome the idea of movement, my friends. Okay, so on your next breath, we're gonna swing the arms sideways and up. And then the moment it's overhead, press the palms together if you can. There. For my friends whose arms or shoulders are more open, try to bring your biceps by the ears and shine your chest forward. Be proud of the chest. Yes. And then as we exhale now, we twist towards the right. Bring your left arm forward, right arm back. Keep your belly in. Keep both sit bones down on the mat. We hold for 5, 4, 3. Do not forget to breathe. 2, and 1. Come back to center. Press the palms together again. Inhale, chest forward. Maybe look up. Open the throat up. And then we exhale again. Twist towards the left. Bring your right arm forward, left arm back. We hold for 5, 4. Look back. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, back to center, my friends. Again, shine the chest forward. Maybe look up. Give yourself a really nice back bend. And then on your next exhale, bring your right hand down on the mat. Keep reaching the left arm up and bend towards the right side. Open up the left side of the body. Nice. If this is too much, you can keep your right arm straight and just really look up to open up the left side of the body. Keep both sit bones down on the mat. So press both butt cheeks down. Yes. Try to open up the shoulders a bit more. For my more flexible friends, you're welcome to drop that forearm down on the mat. Keep reaching up and over towards the side of the mat. Yes, challenge yourself. But if your forearm is on the mat, make sure that the left sit bone is not coming off. Press it back down and reach the arm again. This is a wonderful way to awaken the body, especially at this time. Really nice, really warm Wednesday morning. And then we inhale back to center. Bring both arms up towards the ceiling again. Palms together or not, it's okay, but try to really shine the chest forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand down on the mat now. Extend the right arm up and over towards the left. Same variation you did on the other side, my friends. You can get your forearms down on the mat, or you can just have it straight if it's too much. This side, you're compressing the left side of the body. This is wonderful for digestion. Any compression that you do on your belly is what we call a wind removing pose that aids the digestion so much. So just one more breath and look up. Look beyond the tricep. Look towards the ceiling, towards the sky, whatever you have on up there. And then gently come back to center, please. Bring both arms up overhead. Really bring your chest forward. This time we look up. And then, my friends, from here, exhale, both hands down on the mat now. Try to walk your hands as far as you can from your hips without peeling your hips off the mat. And then maybe some of us can rest the forehead down on the mat. That's totally fine. If you cannot, just have your forearms down and maybe rest on your elbows. Fold forward. There's a lot going on the hips this time around, but you're gonna thank yourself for doing this, especially if you sit for long periods of time. It's really important to have hypermobile hips so you don't get you don't get locked, or your lower back doesn't hurt. So feel that tension that you're releasing from the lower back as well. There. Hold this for 5 breaths. In and out through the nose, my friends. And then with every inhale, see how much more you can lengthen. Try to reach forward. And if you're not fully there yet, allow your exhales to take you deeper. Maybe your exhales will allow you to press your chest towards the floor or towards the mat a bit more. And you slowly roll up. Come back to seated, my friends. Yes, there. And we are going to work on the legs, okay? So from here, we open up the legs. So Open up the left, open up the right. You are now spread open. Okay, there. So options for the legs at this time. If this is too much, if you cannot, so some of us may have tight hamstrings, tight calf muscles because of running or biking or a lot of like really hardcore physical activities. Know that you can always keep your knees bent, okay? So you can keep the knees bent, you can straighten it if you can. If you're soft today, if you're feeling a little flexible, try to flex the toes towards your face. If your toes are flexed, it stretches the backs of the legs a bit more, okay? And then from here, we're gonna grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. So peace fingers and the thumb. So grab onto the big toes only if you can. The others cannot do this. Go ahead and bend your knees. The others who may want to, just have your legs together, okay? But if you can separate your legs and if you can straighten them, of course, let's do that. It's gonna give you wonderful benefits, okay? So from here, my friends, grab onto the big toes, peace fingers and thumbs. Inhale, bring the chest forward. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Yes, find your edge, okay? It's important if you're starting your yoga practice, it's important that you find your edge. What is the edge? If you feel that your breath is compromised, if at some point it gets painful, know that you can always ease out. So as I fold, for example, as I fold, I find a little pinch on my thighs and that I can't breathe. I have to hold my breath just to get on the pose. Know that you can ease out. You can always come back up. You can relax from the pose. So this is the yin yoga practice where we hold the pose for longer periods of time. And this is where the teacher talks a lot to distract you. But yeah, so the goal of yin yoga really is to open up the body, which is why the holds are longer. So just 3 full breaths here. See if you can bring the sit bones back a bit. And then press the chest down as much as you can. And then slowly release the grip. Come back to center. Now we bend the right knee. Bring the heel in, bring the right heel in. And this is where we introduce a little yang to this nice practice of ours, okay? So place your right hand on the mat, right on the side, right at the side of the hip. And then from here, bring the left arm up. Okay, we're gonna go into a nice modified pose called extended side angle. So with your inhale, go ahead, get on your knee and bring your hips up. So get on your knees, yes, and bring your hips up. Reach your left arm all the way up. So there's a lot of tension on that lower arm, the right arm. Activate the core to lighten the load of that arm. So this is your modified side angle pose. We're gonna open this up to what they call a modified wild thing. Wild thing is when we open the chest, open the throat, and then reach back. There, so we're just really introducing a back bend to that nice pose. And then we slowly come down. Listen closely. Bring your hips all the way down, round down, stay low. And then from here, grab onto that left foot. Again, if it's too much, you don't need to have the left foot straight. Bend it, press the belly on the thigh, and then grab onto the outside. There. So grab onto the outside, maybe interlace your fingers under your foot, or if you can, for my more flexible friends, you can grab onto the wrist from under the feet. Flex the toes towards your face. After all, we're opening the back of the leg. Keep gazing at the big toe. Check if you need a pedicure. Yeah. Give it 2 more breaths here. And then slowly come back to seated. Open up the right side of the body this time. And then we fold the left knee in. There. So left heel close to the hip this time. Right. Left hand goes for the mat, okay? And then we extend the right arm all the way up, okay? There, so we're going to breathe 2. Prepare first, inhale, and then bring the hips all the way up, reach up. There you go. Again, lighten the load on the left arm by activating the core. Inhale, guys, reach up, hips up. And then we are going to open up to a wild thing. Give yourself a back bend. Open up the chest. Open up the throat. Reach back. There you go. Enjoy how your heart is open. We're inviting so much positive energy as we do this. Nice. And then slowly exhale, bring your hips down, round down, stay low. Grab onto the right foot. Again, bend the knee if you have to, or keep it straight, grab onto the sides, or hug your knees, grab onto the opposite wrist. Check the toes. There. Maybe this side doesn't need so much pedicure. Maybe I just clip my nails. We'll see. But keep flexing the toes towards your face. Inhale through the nose. Give yourself a sigh. Release the grip, my friends. Come back to center. There you go. And then this time, press the soles of the feet together, butterfly pose. So this is one kind of seated position that I showed you earlier. So grab onto the foot or the feet from outside like a book. So all 8 fingers on top of the feet and the thumbs inside, okay? So this is where we open the hips a bit more and we release the tension from the back, okay? There. So 2 kinds. We do it first so we do the intense version. Bring the heels as close to your hip as possible. So the closer your heels are to your hips, the more intense the hip opener will be, okay? So take an inhale, bring the chest forward. So we always try to bring the chest forward because the goal is to lengthen the back, okay? So bring the chest forward, straight back, and then as you exhale, fold forward. You can use your elbows. You can use the elbows to push the knees down, there, and then fold forward. Again, guys, your heels need not be so close to the hips. You can release it, make a diamond shape with the legs, and just fold from there. But keep looking forward, guys. We're working on the legs this time. We're lengthening the back because we're working on the inner thighs. We always forget the inner thighs. We work on the quads, we open up the hamstrings, but almost never the inner thighs. So just breathe. 2 more cycles of breath here, in and out through the nose. Allow yourself to open your mouth a little bit as you exhale, really just to appreciate the breath better. And slowly come back to seated. My friends, we're gonna do another variation of that butterfly, okay? You should feel that on the inner thighs. This time we're gonna release the tension on our back, okay? So remember how we did a back bends earlier when we did a wild thing? It's important that, so every time you do a back bend or every time you create a tension on your back, some tension on your back, it's important to counter that. So this is our way to counter that. From a back bend, we're gonna round our backs. So still grab onto your foot, or your feet, and then from here, tuck your chin to your chest. So bow your heads, chin to chest, and then round your back, fold forward, touch your forehead to your foot or to your feet. So you can do that by moving the feet farther or moving the feet away from your hips a bit, creating a diamond shape with your legs. But feel how your back is rounded. This time around, your shoulder blades are apart. They're not squeezed in as it was in a back bend. But you're still getting that nice hip opener. You should still feel that in your inner thighs. But more importantly, since your back is rounded, you're releasing tension from your lower back up to your neck spine. Just hold for 3 honest breaths. In and out through the nose. I know I always call out the breath. It's important that you guys keep breathing. Again, if at any point you find yourself holding your breath just to get on the pose, it's not worth it. You should be able to comfortably breathe. Just relax from the pose. Maybe you can sit up a bit or maybe sitting out. It's totally fine. It's your practice. And this is where I stop talking and I roll back to sit and then come back to your seated position, where we will gracefully move to our tabletop. Okay, my friends, place both hands on the mat now, wrists directly under the shoulders, and then get on your knees. Okay, so I'm now on my all fours. Untuck the toes, all 10 toes pointed back. Okay, so you want your wrists in line with the shoulders. You also want your knees in line with the hips. We're gonna do our spine or our back's favor with a cat and with some cats and cows. As you take your next in breath, bring your tailbone up. So stick the butt up, bring the belly down, and then look up. This is your cow. But stay active through the core. Keep the core engaged. I know the belly is down towards the mat, but you want to keep it tight. And then as you exhale, round the back, touch your chin to your chest. Inhale again, bring the tailbone up, belly down, look up. Exhale again, round the back, touch your chin to your chest, really hollow out. Aggressively separate your shoulder blades. Just one full breath. Bring the belly down, hips up, look up. So imagine your arms as gates and your chest is trying to pull through. And exhale back into your cat, like an angry cat. And then come back to neutral, my friends. There. All right, we're gonna start to fire up the core this time. I need you to tuck your toes. So tuck the toes, but bring the belly in towards the spine first. So tuck the belly in, tuck the toes, and then lift your heels and lift your knees 2 inches off the mat. Shins parallel to the floor. Yes. Activate the core to lighten the load in the arms. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get your knees down on the mat. Untuck your toes now. Sway your hips side to side. Side to side. There you go. We're going to do that again, my friends. Second set. Tuck the toes. Inhale. Knees up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Listen closely from here. Try to press the belly towards the thighs. Stay on your tiptoes, but press the belly against the thighs. This is how you lengthen the back. And we are slowly transitioning to what we call a downward facing dog. Straighten the legs, get your heels down. This is an invitation. Totally optional, my friends. If it's too much for the hamstrings, you can always get your heels off the mat. You can always bend your knees. The pose is for the back more than it is for the legs. So you want a straight back more than straight legs, okay? Take one full breath here in your downward facing dog. Once you get the alignment correctly, this is actually a resting pose. And then slowly look forward in between your hands and simply step your right foot there. There, so turn to face the left side of the room and you now are on your forward fold. So wide-legged forward fold. Some of my friends, some of you guys will have like a really wide stance here. There. If you're a little flexible, I encourage you to shorten the stance so you can give your hamstrings some challenge. But what you need here to do is bring the sit bones all the way up, shift the weight on your toes. Place the left hand now under your face. As you take your next inhale, please go ahead, reach the right arm all the way up. There you go. Come on and twist. There you go. Belly in towards the spine. Actively reach your arms up. And then go ahead, exhale, right hand down on the mat, directly under your face. So directly under your face. Now we take an inhale and reach the left arm all the way up. Keep your shoulders in one line, gaze up. Also keep the belly engaged, shift the weight on your toes. We hold for 3, 2, and 1. Simply come back to center, my friends. We're going to work on the legs again. So bring your heels and toes out this time. And then as you take your inhale, come all the way up, goalpost hands. So there. So your elbows are in line with your shoulders, palms facing forward. This is what we call the goddess pose. Okay, so some of us, if you want to challenge yourselves, you can get on your tiptoes. Yes, if you want to, only if you want to. I always fall on that. Yeah, you can go for a mudra again if you want. Some of us would simply just want to have our palms facing forward. And this is where we hold it for 5, 4, 3. I know I can feel that on my inner thighs too. 2, and 1. Simply straighten, place the hands by the waist. Give yourself some gentle movements. Sway your hips side to side. Yes. Release the tension on the inner thighs, release the tension on the thighs. There you go. From here, my friends, maybe adjust your stance again, and then have the toes pointed forward or in one direction. And then we tee our arms, okay? Yes, tee your arms, belly in. On your next breath, bring the right toes out. So point the right toes out. Hinge forward, hinge towards the right, and down. My friends, okay, so this may be too much for the others. You can have your hand on your shin, extend the left arm up. The others can go for the mat if you can, or the others can go for the big toe. If you have a block with you, if you have a yoga block, you can use the yoga block, place it right inside your foot, place the hand there for added height. Extend your left arm up. That's the purpose of your yoga block. That's really to give you some length. Nice. This is your triangle pose, Trikonasana. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Simply look down and then inhale, come back up. This time we bring our right toes back and then we point the left toes out. All right, we're gonna do that on the left side. Everything that you do on one side, you have to do to the other so you don't end up lopsided, okay? So take an inhale, really arrow your arms away from each other. And then from here, go ahead and reach forward and down. Again, shin, mat, or block if it's available, or anything that you can add height. You can place your hand on just to add height, and then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Do not forget to activate the core. It's also a self-reminder. Every time I say activate the core, it's a reminder for myself to suck the belly in. Yes. And then try not to lock that left knee, okay? So stay active through the leg. If you lock the knee, then you're dumping the weight on your joints. You don't want that because eventually that's gonna get you injured. Words, a lot of words. Sorry. 2 full breaths here. Nice. And then gently look down. Come all the way back up. Place the hands by your hips and then turn to face the front side of the mat, standing. There you go. And just have your hands by your sides, palms facing forward. There you go. This is your mountain pose. Yogis, when you are standing, weight on your heels. Try to bring your sit bones in, okay? So tilt your hips forward a bit so you can tuck the tailbone in. That way we're giving our lower backs a break. You know how it is, like usually when we're standing, especially for ladies, the butt sticks out, right? But in yoga, you want to lengthen the back, tuck the tailbone in, chest forward, and this is how we make our spine straight as much as humanly possible. You release the tension on the back. We are transitioning to a tree pose, so I'm gonna face you guys so you can see a really nice balancing pose for everyone, okay? Tree pose, level 1. You can have the sole of your foot, so weight on the left, we're moving the right foot. Sole of the right foot on the ankle, on the calf, or if you want to, on the inner left thigh. For my more adventurous friends, you can float the tree. So you can just lift that hip or lift the thigh. Do not let your foot touch your thigh. Press the palms together by the heart space. Choose the variation of tree that suits you, that your body calls for today. Just avoid the knees, my friends, okay? There are a lot of nerves, a lot of really important matters on your knees, okay? And you don't really want to press on that. That's why we always say avoid the knee. There. With your palms together now, try to see, only an invitation, see if you can bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring the biceps by the ears, upward salute. Yes. Do not forget the core, guys. Just 1 full breath. And then slowly bring the hands back down. And we exit from the pose this way. Bring the knees forward. Knee forward first. Yes. And we're going to go for a little trick here. Release the leg. Release the foot. Okay, I'm going to switch my angle. So from here, release the foot. Now place your left hand on the right knee. And then extend the right arm back. Very demanding for the balance, but what you do is you grip the mat with your toes, press on the balls of your foot, capitalize on that standing leg. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. My friends, from here, simply bring the arms up. You're still balancing. Take a slight bend in that standing leg, and then step this right leg, step the right leg back. You are now on what they call the high lunge, okay? I'm gonna make certain adjustments on the high lunge, just so you can see. Ideally, your high lunge should be really open. Thighs, the front thigh parallel to the floor, and squeeze the back leg straight. So this is your high lunge. Just one breath on your high lunge, and then bring the hands down on the mat. Step back to your downward facing dog. Bring the hips up, head low, down dog. Again, you can bend your knees, get your heels off the mat, yogi's choice. Whatever feels good for your body, whatever you can do for yourself today. Inhale through the nose. At the bottom of your next exhale, look forward in between your hands and walk your feet forward. There. Now inhale to a halfway lift first. A halfway lift is when you tent up on your fingertips or when you have your hands on your shins but flatten the back. Exhale, fold forward again. And then we inhale, come all the way up to stand. Bring both arms up towards the ceiling. My hair is all over the place. Yes. Exhale, place both hands down by your sides, palms facing forward. Nice. Again, I'm going to turn to face you guys because we're going to work on the tree pose on the other side. So now shift the weight on your right leg, okay? Weight on the right leg. Tree pose level 1. So left foot on the ankle, on the calf for level 2. We will skip the knee. We go to level 3. Again, whatever variation is okay for you, okay? You can also go for a floating tree if you want to. Go ahead. Don't allow your left foot to touch the inner thigh, okay? There. Whatever goes for your body today. Press the palms together in prayer. So this is another mudra, another hand formation called Anjali or Anjali Mudra, hands in prayer. Give it a breath here and establish your balance. And when you can, especially if you did so on the other side, gently bring your arms up towards the ceiling, biceps by the ears, chest forward, upward salute. Celebrate your tree pose. So many things going on here. You're rooted from that foot, but you're reaching all the way up. There. Just one full breath. And slowly bring the hands back by the chest, my friends. And this time we bring our knees to point forward and then release the leg again. We twist, okay? Place the left hand on top of the right hand on top of the left knee. Extend the left arm back. Gaze back. There you go. If you fall, know that you can always come back. That's a good thing. That's a good thing about yoga. You can always try again. Just try not to face plant, okay? There, just hold. And then slowly come back to center. Both arms up towards the sky this time. Take a slight bend in that right knee and then step the left foot back. You are back on your high lunge. There you go. High lunge, so much going on for the legs. Bring the belly in, open the chest, one more breath. And then you slowly place the hands down on the mat. And my friends, I'm gonna challenge you, step your right foot back to a plank. Bring the belly in. Shoulders away from the ears, puff the shoulders, push the floor away. You can always get your knees down on the mat on this plank. If you want to challenge yourself, let's hold for 5. This is for your core. 3, 2, 1. Hips up, head low, back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. So your hips side to side. Side to side. Another breath through the nose. And my friends, bring your knees down on the mat again. Untuck the toes. And then from here, we simply roll up to kneel. There. Some really nice transitions we are going to get on what they call a camel, okay? So this is a very deep back bend. So for those of you who'd like to try it out, we are going to do this with so much caution. For those of you who are starting, or if you feel that your back is a little stiff today, you can simply you can stop where I tell you to stop, okay? So have both hands at the lower back, right above the gluteus maximus. Okay, that's a very scientific term, but right above the butt. Okay, there. So press your palms at the curve of your lower back, okay? So take an inhale, bring your hips forward, use your arms, okay? Your hands can push your hips forward. There. Again, if you have like a spine injury or if something's going on with your back, you can stay here. But try to see if you can open your throat. Just look up. For those of you who'd like to try, go ahead, push it back some more. Open the chest, open the throat. Right hand goes for the right ankle. Left hand goes for the left ankle. And then push your hips forward. This is a very deep back bend, but it's very supported. So it's actually easier compared to the full wheel or a bridge. You know, those back bends that you see with people on their hands and on their feet. This is deeper than that, but it's more supported. 2 more breaths. And then we exit the same way we came in. Hands on the lower back, push back, and then back to kneeling. Press the palms together by the heart space. My friends, tuck your toes. So press the toes down on the mat, heels up, and then slowly sit down on your heels. Simply have your hands on top of the knees, chin parallel to the floor. This is what we call the rock pose, okay? Rock, yeah. We are stretching the soles of the feet. So as we stretch the soles of the feet, we're actually massaging our internal organs. There. Stretching the internal organs, how? Through acupressure points on the feet, okay? So it actually helps that you move your feet, like when you walk, when you get on heels, right? When you curl your toes, when you flex your toes. Movement that involves the soles of the feet allow your acupressure points to activate. So that's very helpful. There. Now make certain adjustments. We're going to be a little funky today. Bring the toes together. So bring your feet together if you can. Maybe your heels can be slightly apart. And then maybe open up the knees as wide as the mat. There. So you can keep your hands on your thighs or you can have your hands in prayer. This is what we call the needle pose now, okay? We're going to go for a quick balancing pose here. If you have a water bottle or a block or anything that you can hold on to in front of you, place it in between your legs. You can place it in between your legs and hold on to that. If you're feeling adventurous today, if you're feeling a little funky today, go ahead, lift both knees off the mat. There you go. You can do that even without a block actually. So you can keep your hands on your knees or you can have your hands in prayer. You are now on your toe stand. Yes, stay strong through the core and press all 10 toes down on the mat. Very nice. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Simply bring the knees down softly. Remove the block or anything that you were holding on to. Untuck the toes now. That feels so good. Sit your hips on your heels and then slowly walk your hands forward. This is your child's pose. The child's pose is your home base, actually. It's a very nice resting pose, a very nice restorative pose. At any point of the day, you need to rest or reconnect with your breath. Or if you want to relieve yourself from anxiety, you can always get on a child's pose. There's so much security brought by this nice fetal position. So this is what we use to, when we do kids yoga and the kids are very active, very anxious, we put them on child's pose. Some of us may be a little uncomfortable here, so there's an option for you to get on your child's pose with your knees together. So simply have your knees together and rest your torso on top of your legs.
The arms can also have, you can also have your arms on the sides with your palms facing up. So imagine this version of your child's pose is like you're being rolled into a tiny, tiny ball where no one can hurt you because you're covering the front side of the body. We stay here for 5 breaths. As you reconnect with the breath after the yang in our practice, breathe in and out through the nose. If one cheek is pressed on the mat, maybe it's a nice time to change sides, switch sides. The others can just have the forehead down on the mat. Yogi's choice, actually. You can get your cheek down, you can get your forehead down. I'm more comfortable having my cheek down on the mat because when I have my forehead down, especially with my knees apart, my nose gets squished. I can't breathe. So find a variation that works for your body. And then we slowly come up to sit, my friends. From there, so come up to sit from your child's pose. We are gonna work on the legs a bit more, okay? So from here, we tuck our toes, place the hands down on the mat, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, back to your downward facing dog. There, a little yang before we go on another yin-ish pose. You take an inhale and you reach, you kick your right leg all the way up. You can give it tight. And then as you exhale now, swing your left foot forward, bend the knee, come on to what we call a half pigeon. So it's like a half split. If it's too much, guys, know that you can always bend the knees, or you can sit on a rolled up towel, you can sit on a pillow, like so. Okay, but if you can, if you have it in your practice, go ahead, sit your hips all the way down, and then press, and then get on your forearms. There. You are stretching the sides of the thighs. So this works wonders if you have like problems on your lower back, like sciatica, for example. If you're experiencing sciatica symptoms, this stretches the sides of your thighs. You know, if it may be a little challenging if you run or if you bike, because usually the hamstrings and the thighs are tight there. But if you do this pose right after training, it's gonna work wonders. Why? Because every time you contract a muscle, it's important that you stretch it. It becomes stronger that way. There. You have to find a balance in everything that you do. If you strengthen a body part, you have to open it up as well. That's why stretching is important for athletes. There. 2 more breaths here, and feel the opening on the hips. Try to see if you can shift some weight on the left side also. Do not forget the left side, but that's going to intensify the hip opener. Maybe rock from side to side. Here. And when you're ready, my friends, place the hands down on the mat, walk the hands back, tuck the left toes, and then go ahead, reach the right leg all the way up again. And then come back to your downward facing dog. Inverted V. Know that you can have your knees bent, get on your tiptoes, but really straighten the back. Now on your next breath, kick the left leg all the way up. Give it height if you can. And then slowly swing the leg forward, bend the knee, get on your half split, or what we officially call half pigeon, okay? Try to make certain adjustments, see if you can straighten the back leg. There. Know that in this pose, the closer, so the farther your heel is from your groin or from your hip, the more intense the hip opener is. If you want to ease out, bring the heel in, okay? If you're hardcore, go ahead, bring it out, and then square out the hips. Square out the hips how? You can push the right hip forward, so your hips are squared towards the front of the mat, okay? So inhale first, exhale, fold down. Fold onto your forearms, and maybe you can prop on your elbows. The others would like to completely rest it out, lean your head against your arms, against your forehead. If you have a pillow, you can also grab a pillow and then place it on your face. Others use a yoga block and rest the head there. Yeah. Just know that if you're getting in this pose at some point, it may be too much for some people. You can always sit on a block. You can always go for the variation of choice, okay? If it's too much for the thighs, bring the heel closer to your hips. If it's too much for the hips, you can sit on a pillow as you do this. Always remember, this is yoga. You can always modify it the way your body needs. It's your practice, you're not in a race. You're not competing against anyone. The good thing about online yoga is you cannot see other people. And if you don't turn your camera on, you cannot be seen. While it has its perks that you have your camera on, you can practice in peace and in private. Okay, my friends, come back to center, please. We are gonna release the pose. Place the hands down on the mat now. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, kick the left leg all the way back and back to your downward facing dog. Sway your hips side to side, side to side. And now, my friends, I invite you to get your knees back on the mat now. Cross the ankles and sit your hips all the way down. Extend your legs forward. So maybe scoot towards the middle of the mat, but extend your legs forward. We start with the right leg, okay? So bend the right knee pointed up. Now step the right foot outside the left leg. So you're now, it's like you're getting onto a cross leg, okay? So right foot outside the left knee. Now we place the right hand at the back. We inhale the left arm up. And then as we exhale, twist and hook the left elbow onto that right knee. Yes, that's nice. So this is a good place to be, my friends. You're already working on twisting the spine. You're releasing some tension on the lower back. If you want to go for more, you can go for a bind. If you're feeling a little adventurous, let's see if we can go for a bind. Left hand goes to that space in between the legs. There, yeah. Go ahead, try it. Yep, squeeze it in there. And then the right hand, swing it back, grab onto your left fingertips. There. This is a total invitation. So Jang, see if you can move your knee closer or your heel, your thigh closer to your belly. There. That makes room. And then twist a little deeper and then squeeze the hand in there and then swing it back. There. If it's not happening today, that's totally fine. It's an invitation. This is an invitation. You can stay on this really nice twist. There you go. The important thing is we try. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we release. Extend the right leg. We bend the left this time, and we step the left foot outside the right leg, okay? And then we work on the other side, okay? Left hand now goes to the mat, and then we extend the right arm up. My friends, go ahead, bend the elbow and twist. Hook the right elbow onto that left knee, and then gaze back. There you go. If you attempted on the other side, of course, you are invited to make this side interesting by squeezing this right arm through the space in between the legs and then swing the left arm back. Go for fingertips. Yes, this way you're opening up the shoulders and then maybe gaze back and then see with an inhale how much more you can sit a little taller. Straighten the back and just breathe. Enjoy this twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the grip, my friends. Come back to center. And then this time around, we are going to go for some balancing pose on your sit bones, okay? This requires a lot of core strength as well, okay? So we are going to transition to what we call a Navasana or boat pose. Have your hands on your knees and then straighten the arms, okay? Chest forward. So how it is for you. So remember how it feels on your back. Keep your backs as it is. Now lift your heels, shin parallel to the floor. Extend the arms forward. This is your boat pose. For my stronger friends, you can straighten the legs. Belly in, chest forward. Activate the legs. We hold for 10, 9. This is for your core. Lawrence, we're working on the belly. I forgot the count, so we restart. 10, 9, 8, 7, chest forward. 6, belly in. 5, shaking is good. 4, shaking means it's working. 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees towards your chest. And then press the feet down on the mat. Extend the arms forward. Go down for 5, 4, 3, lower back first, followed by the middle back. So much core control. Head comes down last. Hug your knees towards your chest. Rock from side to side. Side to side. And then, my friends, from here we extend the arms to the sides, palms facing up, and then step your feet to either side of the mat and knock your knees in between. So knock your knees in, touch your knees together. Take a breath here. Bring the belly or bring the lower back down on the mat. So notice how when you're on your back, there's a natural arch from the lower back. So there's a space in the lower back. Press it down. That way you activate the front side of the body. You activate the lower belly as well. Inhale first. Exhale, bring both knees towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale to center again. Exhale, right. Windshield wipers, my friends. So we are stretching the belly after the core work on the boat pose. We are stretching the stomach muscles. There you go. Move with the pace of your breath. Every time you come back to center, press the lower back down on the mat. That way you activate your lower belly, the puson. There. And my friends, the next time you knock your knees towards the right, stay there and then look towards the left. This is your supine twist. To intensify the pose, you can get your right ankle over the left knee. There you go. And look towards your right or your left fingertips. See if you can draw the belly in. Press the shoulders down on the mat. We are slowing things down so you can relax your jaw, relax the sides of the neck. Relax the features of your face. And then we slowly release. Inhale to center again. Press the lower back down on the mat. Exhale, knees towards the left, gaze towards the right. Again, intensify the side body stretch by bringing your left ankle over the right knee. You can close your eyes if you want to because we're slowing things down. Just breathe. And then from here, my friends, come back to center, please. This is where we hug our knees towards our chest. Yes, you can rock from side to side, but cradle. And maybe you can bring your head up and then press your forehead towards the knees. Roll yourself into a tiny, tiny ball. Go for that final compression. And when you're ready, give yourself a nice in-breath. Release the head down. And then release the legs, arms out to the sides, palms facing up. And then open the legs as wide as the mat. Allow your toes to fall open, heels inside, toes out. Allow your fingers to naturally curl in. This is your Shavasana. This is the final pose of today's practice. This is where you rest. This is where you just be. So allow your bodies to completely melt on the mat.